B'Shem Hashem Na'aseh V'Natzliach. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, everybody. We want to wish everybody a wonderful Shabbat. This Shabbat is Hukat. End of the Parsha talks about Moshe was getting ready to wage war against Og the giant. God tells Moshe, don't be afraid of Og, because he will definitely fall before you. You will destroy him, you will annihilate him, you will take over his land. Rashi says, Moses, we never see in the Torah, is scared. Why was Moses scared to fight against Og? Was it because Og was a big giant and was superior to him, and therefore Moshe had the natural tendency to be afraid of a more powerful foe? Rashi says no, that answer is impossible. Moses knew that he had God on his side, and God can do anything and everything. The only thing he was worried about that is Og had done a mitzvah many generations before. He was the one that came and told Abraham that Lot was a prisoner in the first international world war that happened during the time of Abraham, and that's what caused Abraham to go save Lot, and so on and so forth. Now, I heard this idea from the great HaGAON HaMaKubal, Rabbi Yacov Hillel, when I learned in the Mir almost 17 years ago. Rabbi Yacov Hillel Shlita, Yacov Moshe Hillel Shlita said a beautiful idea. He said, you see from here, what is the reward for a mitzvah? It's unlimited, you can't fathom. Here Moses is 1,000 years after what happened in the time of Abraham, and he had evil intentions. Og, the giant. He was coercing and pushing Abraham to go to war because he thought he would die and he would marry the most beautiful woman in the world, Sarah. We know Sarah, her beauty was unmatchable. So this Rashi and Chazal give us a scope into the unlimited amount of reward that we get for a mitzvah. That if Moses is worried that the merit of Og will last 1,000 years, even though Og is a goy, he did it totally for narcissistic reasons, because he wanted Abraham to go to war so he would marry his wife. Now imagine, can you fathom if you do a mitzvah for the sake of heaven, and Gadol HaMitzvah ve'oseh, we learned that in the Daf Yomi recently, that since it's a greater, you get much more reward when you have to do a mitzvah than when you voluntarily need to do it. Because when you have to do it, you always want to run away from it, and there's more Yetzer Hara, there's more of a challenge to meet your duty. And because of this idea answers another very important question. Why in the Torah doesn't it talk about the reward of mitzvot? Rav Dessler has such a beautiful piece in the first chelik of Michtav Meliyahu. There's the idea of schar mitzvah b'hai al maleka. There's no... See, many of us become very disappointed. We do so many good things, outstanding, godly, pure acts of kindness, of learning Torah, of helping others, of improving our character to not get angry, or giving charity, or so on and so forth, and yet we get bad luck. How could this be? The answer is that now is the time to work. Do they pay you while you're working? No. When the Mashiach comes, that's the time when you get your reward. Now, why doesn't God reward us in this world? This Rashi, this idea that I previously said, gives us a scope. The reward for a mitzvah is so unbelievable and marvelous and out of this world. It's so out of this world, the amount of reward that you're going to get showered upon, that this world doesn't have the capacity. You know, it's like trying to plug in a 220 volt in somewhere that's 110 volt. It doesn't have the capacity. This world, all the pleasures is futile, is worthless compared to that ultimate pleasure that God will give us for the reward for the commandments we do. So the reason why God doesn't reward us in this world is because this world doesn't have the capacity to reward us. It's just Legos compared to the awesome. It's like a piece of candy compared to a true, deep, amazing reward that is unfathomable. And I just want to tell you a thing. Rabbi Yacov Hillel said that just to realize how great and exact the reward for a mitzvah is, the Gra Mivilna, one of the greatest geniuses of Torah the last 500 years, his mother and another woman from Vilna, they used to always collect money for the poor people of the city of Vilna. They had swore to each other that if one of them would die, they should come and say how much is the reward for all their altruistic activities that they went and raised money for the poor. So one of them, the colleague of the mother of the Gra, dies. She comes to her in a dream. He says, I can't reveal to you how awesome and unfathomable the reward is in the next world. But I could just tell you, one time somebody was asking us for directions, and one of us said, it's on the other side of the street. One of us pointed. Since one of us pointed, for that alone that we moved our hand, we were more proactive. You were going to get more reward. So let's remember, God never forgets. He has unlimited storage. And if you do good things, the reward is so awesome that all the pleasures in this world this world doesn't have the capacity to fulfill the pleasure and enhancement and joy that you're going to get. May Hashem help us always to do mitzvahs for the most beautiful reason and realize that there will be, of course, the greatest and most remarkable reward for it. Have a wonderful week and Shabbat. Subscribe.